So, Lisa, let's talk about the polls. Now, again, one poll doth not everything make. However, news poll last week, gold standard, that was 50-50. We're seeing relentlessly in the polling that'll be there everywhere from the Turnbull Times through to the Financial Review, right, which is cost of living, A1 issue, and they are now starting to correctly hold the government to account. Again, I don't know what happens in the next few weeks, but this poll was out and about while the sky was falling in because Peter Dutton wasn't going to do what the Greens want to do on climate change. Guess what? Nothing happened, Lisa. In fact, quite the opposite.
Gee, do you think all of the people who are pushing their trolleys through Woolworths and Coles and having to do that calculation in their head about what they can afford are so worried about what the technicalities are as far as the Paris Agreement goes, or what is being done in relation to a 2030 or a 2035 target, which Labor has not come out and said it will set anyway? But no, I think what Peter Dutton is doing, and he's doing it coming out hard in the economy, he comes out hard in support of defence, he's hitting all of the right marks as far as what's concerning, I think, most average Australians who are out there doing it tough.
Yeah, I mean, again, James, the Resolve poll in particular is murky about things like One Nation. One Nation, however, has gone up in the polls in the places that actually are straight out and give you an opportunity to be counted. We've seen before a couple of points here, a couple of points there, about 7% nationally right now. They put you in with other, right? So it's everything from the Victorian Socialists to the Teals, One Nation to the Australian Democrats. However, it does seem like, well, not just gloss is gone, but people are now stepping back from openly saying I'm all in on this government, and that is the beginning of either a lesson learnt by the government or the beginning of a change that once it starts, doesn't get undone.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for the path that Peter Dutton seems to be treading right now. He's going down a very distinct path where he wants to form government at the next election, and he actually has policy that is starting to resonate with the Queensland and national voters out there. The big thing for me is Peter's been very strong on the deportation of these foreign criminals who Labor have allowed to stay in the country, and now he's starting to raise the big issue in this country right now, and that is cost of living under the energy prices that are being dictated by net zero. They're unachievable. Paul, it'd be like me saying to you, listen, I want you to lose 50 kilos in 10 weeks on a water and lettuce diet. It's unsustainable. You will not lose the weight. It'll cause more harm to you than good. And it's not going to achieve anything at the end of the day.
Imagine the skin.
So, look, this is... Oh, imagine. I don't want to go there, but my point is, it's... You had to distract me, didn't you?
I did. I knew I
Peter
would
Dutton has a message. The message is clear from Peter Dutton finally, and I'm glad to see the majority of the people within his own party are starting to back him finally, and I think the Australian people are also starting to do it. So I think he's on a winning streak here. If he keeps this up, he'll destroy Labor at the next election, and One Nation will make sure that we put Labor and the Greens last, which will help him get across the line.
Well, and that's the thing too. I mean, remember, those preferences, One Nation, UAP, but certainly One Nation, a bigger size, bigger vote. 2019, if 2 out of 3 end up going to the Liberal Party, then this thing gets competitive. If it goes 50-50, blame them all, bugger them all the rest of it, then it's going to be a very interesting picture. I do have to say, and no doubt the people trying to dismiss this poll, I'll get in and do it for them. In New South Wales, preferred Prime Minister is 33-31 in favour of Albanese. Victoria is 39-34, and in rest of Australia, it is 37-34. Queensland, though, 48% to 29%. So clearly the average is affected by what's happening in Queensland. But what really matters in there, Lisa, is that we're being told that the Teals might be on the march around southeast Queensland. Not on those numbers. On those sorts of numbers, there are cabinet ministers who would end up losing their seats because of what is going on in Queensland. Whether this is all linked in with the state election, who knows? But certainly Labor, as a brand, is on the pong there. But are you seeing a distinct hostility at times towards the Prime Minister in Queensland, or is it about Labor?
I think it's more focused on what's happening here on a state-based political sort of circus, if you like, because, like I say, Labor here, people are frustrated. It's the long laundry list of everything that we spoke about earlier in the program. You've got housing, you've got health, everything that James's Bluey and Robert Irwin cartoon pointed out is what's concerning people up here. So I think what will happen is you'll see the election hit here in October, and then it will be very interesting to watch what the polling does federally in relation to what impact Queensland will have on the federal government, moving into when they call an election. I think that's what they'll be watching, what happens here.
Yeah, well, once I get into state-by-state breakdown, again, this is where One Nation, I can see what's happening there federally. The LNP is at 40%, Labor at 24% in Queensland. 24% in Queensland. Now, again, they will all say, oh, mate, it's all fine, it's all, nothing will change. If that happens at an election, a seat like Lily would go, there'd be a couple of others, there'd be a couple of ministers who we'd see the back of. That would be magnificent. May it happen. But it's just a poll, a few months out.